Hi everyone, welcome to the series of my classes.
Let's have a look at the poem Wind by Subramanya Bharati. Subramanya Bharati was popularly known as Mahakavi Bharati. He was a pioneer of modern Tamil poetry and is considered one of the greatest Tamil literary figures of all time. His numerous works included fiery songs kindling patriotism during the Indian independence movement. He was a poet, novelist, journalist, freedom fighter, feminist, and social reformer. He remains the only person whose writings were nationalized and put into the public domain soon after independence in 1949. Bharati's poems cut across a wide range of subjects from nationalism to spirituality, women's empowerment to untouchability. In his brief 39-year life, Bharati produced innumerable poems and prose pieces. He is considered the forerunner of the modern Tamil poetry, while Tamil cinema has also played a significant role in taking his verses to the common mass. Nature, in all its manifestations, was the source of inspiration for Subramanya Bharati. He saw wind and rain as forces of nature that were designed to destroy the old and evil things in man's mind and create joy and liberty within him. In the poem Wind, Subramanya Bharati has very beautifully expressed his ideas about both the damaging and nurturing aspects of wind. Wind often mocks the weak but glories the strong. In the poem, wind is symbolic of the difficulties and hardships that we face in life. If we display strength and endurance, we can overcome these difficulties. But if we are weak and frail, we may succumb to them.
Now let's read the poem. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the books. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Here the poet is talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly. He also says that the wind is very powerful. It is destructive. It breaks the shutters of the windows and scatters the papers. When the wind is very powerful, all the books which are kept on the bookshelf fall down. So here the poet is describing the power of the wind. Then he says to the wind to look at the destruction that it had done. It destroys the things which are weak. We can say in the first part of the poem, the poet is comparing the wind to a small, innocent child. So he asks the wind to come softly. But in the later part, we come to know that the wind is destructive in nature, just as the youth, who is full of energy. Frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. Here the word crumbling is repeated so many times to stress that everything crumbles in the face of a strong wind. The wind is powerful and it crumbles everything: houses, doors, rafters, all bodies, and even hearts. The poet is saying indirectly that whenever a weak person faces any adversity or challenge in life, he breaks down and falls. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Here the poet is addressing the wind as wind god. When there is a strong wind, all those who are weak fall down and get crushed. He won't do what you tell him, so come, let's build strong homes. Let's join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. Here, the poet is suggesting an idea to become friends with the wind, that is, adversities in our lives. For that, we should make our bodies strong and hearts firm. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Here the poet is comparing the wind to God, and we praise him every day. He adds that everything that is weak gets finished off in the face of the strong wind. He is giving us a very important message that we should not feel bad while we are facing so many challenges and adversities in our lives. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong to face these challenges. And once we are strong enough, we will overcome the challenges. The first part of the poem describes the actions of the wind. The poet asks the wind to come softly. He requests the wind not to break the shutters of the windows and throws down the books from the shelf. But the wind throws the books and tears the pages. The poet says that the wind makes a mockery of weaklings. It brings down frail houses, crumbling doors, rafters, and even weak hearts. It crushes everything that is weak. The poet advises us to be strong. Only then we can protect ourselves from the wind. We should build strong homes with firm doors. Our bodies and hearts should also be strong. It is the way of the world to kick the weak and to be friends with the strong. The wind blows out the weak fires, but makes the strong fires roar and flourish. Thus, the poem conveys the idea that nobody cares for the weak. Even the wind is on the side of the strong people. We must make ourselves strong to become successful and overcome the challenges in life. In the first stanza, the wind symbolizes destruction. Scattering of papers, throwing down books on shelf, tearing pages of books, and bringing heavy rainfall and floods that shows the works of destruction of the wind. In the second stanza, the wind is poking fun at weaklings and it crumbles houses and doors, rafters, woods and bodies, lives and hearts. The poem Wind is written in free verse. There is no particular rhyme scheme. Let us see some of the poetic devices used by the poet here. The first one is anaphora. When a word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines, it is the device of anaphora. Here the lines 2, 3, 4 begin with the word don't. It is an example for anaphora. Likewise, the lines 6, 7, 8 begin with the word you. So this is also an example for anaphora. Next poetic device used by the poet is repetition. The word crumbling is repeated many times to lay emphasis. For example, here crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives and crumbling hearts. The next poetic device used by the poet is symbolism. In this poem, wind is a symbol of adversities or challenges in our lives. The next one is personification. Wind has been personified. When the poet says you are, he is referring the wind as you. That means he is treating the wind as a human being. The last one is alliteration. Alliteration means the repetition of a consonant sound in close connection. For example, wind winnows on what? So here you can see The consonant sounds are almost closely connected. Wind, winnows, won't, what. So this is called alliteration. So let us meet with yet another new video. Thank you. Have a nice day.